Hey everybody, welcome back to Build at Home. My name is Brittany Jones Cooper, coming to you from my home in New York City. And today I'm really excited to be chatting with Dylan McDermott. Hi Dylan, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really excited to chat about this new show. Off the top, I want to take a minute to remind our viewers about the No Kid Hungry campaign. Because of school cancellations, 234 million school meals have been missed. That means that there's a lot of kids and communities in need. So if you're looking for a way to help, if you're looking for a way to chip in, go to nokidhungry.org for more information. So Dylan, I want to just kick things off with you. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I'll say maybe the craziest ever.
Yeah. So where are you at? How are you holding up?
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. I have a lot of people, a lot of family who lives in New York. A lot of people are getting it. It's scary times. I really have quarantined myself. I'm wearing gloves and masks, and I'm just trying to hunker down here because that's what everybody's telling us to do, to try to flatten the curve and stop the spread. So, but it's pretty frightening when you watch the news.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of deaths out there, and a couple people I know, and I know for you yourself,
Mhm.
it's it's just really just unfortunate.
Yeah, I think every day it gets more and more real as more and more people that we know become infected
Yeah,
away. What have you been doing just for yourself to sort of deal with anxiety or any of the stresses that have come with being in the house
yeah.
for
Good
this long?
question, because that's really what I think we're all in the same boat. Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
I know for me, I've watched Tiger King 7 times now.
Can we talk about Carol Baskin for a minute? I mean, what a fat.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just so amazing. I can't get enough of it. I wish it was like seasonal, like there were many seasons of this show. But I think they're going to make a show of it somewhere, from what I
They would
heard.
be fools not to.
Yeah, they have to make it. So I'm doing that, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. How's your
No,
food
honestly,
situation?
I've fixed everything in my house like 7 times. Every screw is now going in the same direction.
I love it. It is a great time for home improvement.
It really is.
It really is. I bought paint. I went to the grocery store and then I bought
See?
paint because I was like, well, I've been meaning to paint this wall for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Now's the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad to know that you and your family are doing well in these
Yes.
times. Passing the time though has been hard. It's been my job has actually been really great because my job is to watch and read things.
Right.
So I got to check out the first 2 episodes of Hollywood yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, Ryan Murphy, I love the worlds that he creates. You've been a
Yeah.
part of so many of his projects. What is it about these projects and working with Ryan that keeps bringing you back?
I mean, I've worked with Ryan now for 10 years. American Horror Story, of course, The Politician, and now Hollywood. I mean, this character. I mean, as you've seen, is a completely different character for me.
Yeah.
Something that no one's really seen me, the way I look, the way everything about this guy is completely different. So I love that he gives me the opportunity to play things other than myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I thrive on, to have a character in a show like this where it's multiple seasons and you can play different characters. I mean, that's a dream come true for an actor.
Mm. So yeah, take us through the show. So it isn't an anthology as well. It's going to keep going, or is it just?
As far as I know, I mean, everything is subject to change, but as the understanding is that this will be multiple seasons of a show centered around Hollywood and the sexual exploits, marginalized people, people of color, women, everything you think of, and I think that this first season is, I just finished all 7 episodes, and I have to say, remarkable performances. Like you said, a great world. Women and people of color rise. It's sort of like an alternate reality, if you
Mhm.
will. What would happen if the world was an equal place?
Mm.
And I really love that about the show, that it explores a completely different reality from what was.
Well, and especially the time period it's set in. So it's set post World War II, so it's the late 40s. And when we're talking about things like race and gender and sexual orientation in Hollywood, those are real major themes to explore during that time, right? So what are some of the, I guess, obstacles we're going to see these characters deal with?
Well, I think, certainly gay people, trying to be who they are in that time period was very difficult. A lot of them were beaten up, they were arrested. My my character is very interesting because he is sympathetic and he's tolerant, but he's also pimping them out, if you will. So it's an interesting word, but he also rises to the occasion. He changes, he evolves. So Ryan, as Ryan always does, he creates these world that creates questions, and I love that about this place. That he creates questions for you to ask yourself: how would you behave in this time? And my character certainly is a very complex guy.
Let's talk about your character for a second because he is complex.
Yeah.
Tell the viewers a little bit about his job. I'll let you detail
His job. Well, his name is Ernie West, and he runs a gas station in Hollywood, and he hires a lot of pretty men, if you will, and he pimps them out for money, and it's a 50-50 thing. And he is sort of in that world, but he always wanted to be an actor. I think he came to Hollywood to be an actor, and he sort of lost his way and ended up in this world. Eventually, he does get to act a little bit. He's really an actor, a producer, and a pimp.
So much of, for at least from the first two episodes, so much of the storylines and the characters, they seem to be sort of like loosely sort of inspired by real people or real events to some degree. So can you talk about the kind of the research that that was done into that period and like how accurate some of these characters or situations are?
Yeah, some of it. I mean, most of it is fictional. I mean, it really is Ryan and Ian Brennan's imagination. Of course, they have muses that some of these characters were based on. There was a guy who did do this, Scotty Bowers, but it's not based on him per se. But he did have a gas station, and he did pimp out guys. But my character is completely different from his. So there are some characters, but most of it is fiction.
Hollywood is just known for its lore. So for you personally, was there anything that you discovered about this time period in Hollywood that you just thought was really interesting or fascinating?
I guess it was the parties that they had.
Yeah.
George Cukor's parties that they would have these incredible elaborate parties that went on for days, and where people can be themselves. And I thought that was really, I didn't know that these kind of parties existed, that my character ends up going to. So I mean, it's the boulevard of broken dreams in many ways, but at the same time, I think that we are creating a world that is a little bit more hopeful than maybe what actually existed. So I like the fantasy of that, and now now we're catching up to maybe what the show was, in that time period. We're catching up now to equality.
Definitely. Yeah. And part of the thing, the stories are so compelling. The cast is insane.
I mean, it's stellar.
I mean, from Jeremy Pope to Patti LuPone to Darren Criss. What was it like working with some of these people?
Yeah, that's the great thing about Ryan Murphy. I mean, he finds actors, and everybody wants to work with Ryan, of course, because, as I said before, he allows you to create character. And I think every actor.
Wait, who's that barking? Who's that barking?
That's my Otis. I mean,
Otis. What kind of dog is Otis?
Otis is he's a terrier, half terrier and half poodle. Oh. But I call him a terrierist.
He sounds bigger.
I know he does, for obvious reasons. Anyway, I think that everybody is clamoring to work with Ryan because the content of his shows, and certainly the character. And I've been lucky to be working with him for 10 years. So, you know, the more I work with him, the more I love him, the more he gives me to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, anything that has a Ryan Murphy name on it, I'm going to give a couple
Yes.
episodes no matter what. Just because you know it's going to be this whole world. He just
Yeah.
creates, exports you to somewhere new.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so great. You are very busy. You're also working on still the new Will Smith, Serena Williams, King Arthur.
Richard, yes, obviously
Sorry.
we had to shut down because of the epidemic. But that what a great script that is. Just
Yeah.
about. I mean, Serena and Venus. I had no idea that was their story. When I read the script, I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And Will Smith's character, Richard, is a phenomenal character, and I think this is really his shot at an Oscar. So I think that this movie is going to be something to see. Absolutely.
Yeah. And what does that do for you as an actor when they have to stop production on something that you guys had already started on? Like, what do you do to sort of keep that, I guess, momentum going for yourself?
Right, right. You know, not easy, not easy. I think that it's. I think we're all, you know, taking a break right now, and I think this is actually a good time to reflect on your life and the way you've been and who you are and your relationships. And you know, there's a pause that's happened in life, and maybe somewhere. I know it's horrible out there, but I think, and from a spiritual point of view, maybe there was a need for that somewhere in the world, you know. So I'm kind of reflecting on that as well, for my own self, and trying to figure out, you know, like we all are, who are we, and what are we left with?
Yeah, I think that's a really positive way to look at it. It's something I've been trying to do, like doing yoga and meditation and sort of going inward, because there is just this frenetic energy everywhere else. And there has to be some sort of positive outcome from this time.
Absolutely, because you know that we will go back at a certain point, and maybe we will be better for it. Maybe we will be ready for the next epidemic. God forbid it comes. Maybe we will be better people, and deeper people, and more evolved people, and kinder. Ultimately. I mean, that's certainly is the hope.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. I hope that is what happens, definitely. Dylan, it was really, really great chatting with you today. Again, I'm glad that you and Otis are doing well during your social distancing. And thanks for giving me something to watch. And for the rest of you, you do have to wait a little bit. Hollywood doesn't come out until May 1st on Netflix, but there's plenty of things to read and research about the period up until then, which is fascinating. Dylan, thanks again. We'll see you soon.
So nice talking to you. Have a great day. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.